Toyota's new GR Corolla is one of the most exciting performance cars of the year, bar none. And in this video, we're going to find out if a 3-cylinder turbocharged hot hatch can beat some classic American muscle cars in a drag race.
So not only are we going to do a classic drag race, we are going to do a rolling race from 30 miles an hour, as well as a braking test where we will take all three of these cars and find out which one performs best.
All right, Brendan, well, it looks like today you are representing the big old American V8s.
Yeah, so I am here representing the classic muscle V8, which is the 1999 Chevy Corvette with the 5.7 LS1.
Yeah, and I know that beast has got a big bad 345 horsepower motor, but
this GR Corolla is also pretty impressive. I mean, it's a 1.6 liter 3-cylinder, but it's cranking out 300 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque. These are only equipped with 6-speed manuals. It's all-wheel drive. I mean, this is a really impressive Corolla.
Yeah, I mean, I am more partial to classic cars, but if I were to get a new car, that thing would definitely be near the top of my list, because getting that much horsepower from a 3-cylinder, that's just really cool that they were able to pull that off.
Now, some interesting things that are going to make this race, well, the outcome a little unsure is that weight-wise, we're both around about 3,300 pounds. I have all-wheel drive, you have rear-wheel drive. You have a little bit more horsepower, but my car is turbocharged, which usually means that you lose less up here at a mile above sea level. And we're on an unprepped surface, so potentially the all-wheel drive will help me out on the launch, but we'll just have to see.
Well, and not only that, but I have this ancient 4-speed automatic transmission, which is not ideal for getting a good launch and getting some good times in the drag strip, but I guess we'll find out which one's quicker.
let's find out.
Hey folks, today's video is brought to you by SalvageReseller.com. This website allows you to bid live on online salvage auto auctions without a dealer's license. You can register for free or use the 20% off coupon in the description below. Go find your salvage car gem now.
Oh man, that thing got a good launch.
Oh yeah. Come on.
Come on, Corvette!
This GR Corolla is pretty sporty.
Oh, but I'm gaining on him.
Well, I'm not shaking him.
Come on!
Come on, Corolla!
Oh, I think he just barely got me.
Not too bad. And I stayed ahead of him. So 15.75 in the quarter.
I think you took me just by a nose on that guy. What'd you do in the quarter?
So that was a 15.75 at 90, which is, you know, for a mile above sea level, and I mean, in a Corolla, even a GR, pretty good time. And what surprised me the most about that race is that I wasn't shaking you, although I guess it shouldn't be too much of a surprise because the Corvette's got 345 horsepower and this is 300.
Yeah, and I did a 15.91 at 96 miles an hour, so you could tell I was catching up to you there at the end, but man, that thing launches really hard off the line. I think that's why you ended up winning that race.
All right, Brendan, now for our next test, we have a rolling race. We're going to go 30 miles per hour, count 3, 2, 1, go, and then on go, both of us will accelerate. But this is going to be an interesting test because, of course, I won't have the all-wheel drive advantage off the launch, but I do have the manual transmission advantage, whereas that Corvette is going to have to kick down with that ancient automatic transmission.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to make it interesting, because we've done the rolling race in this Corvette before, and right at 30 miles an hour, it's just kind of in nowheresville as far as gearing goes, so it gets kind of a slow launch, so it will make it really interesting.
All right. in 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, a little bit of turbo lag here from the Corolla.
Ooh, okay, kicked down, but he still got a better launch.
Come on, hold him off, hold him off.
But here I come back. Oh, he's holding his own.
You got this car. I had to shift again. Oh, that was close, but I think I got him.
Whoa, I think you actually took me on that one by just the nose.
That's what it looked like from my angle too, but man, were you catching up. That was a close race.
Yeah, that one was about as close as it gets.
Well, I've brought something else here that, you know, congratulations, you beat a 90s muscle car, but I brought something a little more modern. I want to see if you can take that too.
5.0, the return of a legend.
Brendan, what is this vehicle that you've pulled up in? I haven't seen this in a video before.
Yeah, this is new to TFL. This is a 2014 Mustang GT, so this means it has the 5-liter Coyote V8 pumping out 420 horsepower.
420, that's a lot of horsepower.
Well, sure, it's a lot of horsepower, but it also weighs a bit more. This thing comes in at 3,900 pounds, so 600 pounds more than your Corolla and the Corvette that I just got out of. I mean, you know, plus my added weight to it too.
Well, I'm banking on the hope that you're just going to be spinning tires for long enough that I'll be able to gain some good ground that you won't be able to make up. But let's find out in the quarter mile. Of course, it's important which car performs the best, but we also have to figure out which one of these cars sounds the best. Here's the GR. In order to get this to rev past 4,000, I have to put it into the traction control off expert mode, and then it'll rev way up. Here's the Mustang. Here's the Corvette.
Well, I am going to turn my traction control off. I do have a little S below the D. I'm assuming that's the sport mode for this guy. And I am going to brake torque it up to a little over 1,000 RPMs just to see if I can get the best launch possible out of this car.
Yeah, and I'm also in sport mode, traction control off, which makes it say expert on the screen, which gives me the
Warm and fuzzies. And my all-wheel drive mode is track. All right, let's do it.
Whoa, a little bit of wheel spin there.
Come on.
Oh, but that torque kicks in and I'm going to take him.
Corolla had a good launch. Oh my God! He just walks right past the car.
Here we go, walking right past him. Oh yeah. Not even close. All right, so yeah, I think I gapped you a little bit there, man.
But Brendan, what time did you run?
All right, well, I ran that in a 14.86 at 101 miles an hour. So you took me at the line again because that thing launches like really well. Whereas I spun my tires at the launch, but 101 miles an hour at the finish, I was gapping you quite a bit.
Yeah, well, the science kind of backs that result. I mean, off the line, it's hard to beat all-wheel drive, and horsepower is horsepower, so eventually you're going to pull away. All right, Brendan, well now we have the classic roll race, and once again, it's manual transmission versus automatic, so potentially off the line I'll be able to get you, and who knows? Maybe because we'll be further down the strip, you won't have time to catch up.
Yeah, I think I'm a little more confident in this roll race, but but just because of the results of that drag race. But
We'll see if your turbo can get you past the V8.
All right, let's get up to 30 and I'll count us down. All right, in 3, 2, 1, go. Well, I'm pulling on him a little bit.
oh man, it like lagged there to get to that gear.
But as soon as he gets into his top end, man, that Mustang walks away.
Goodbye.
There's nothing I can do about it. It's impressive. You know, muscle cars are meant for drag racing.
Yeah, I think
This Mustang is just a little bit too much for that Corolla to handle.
And I have no doubt that in any other kind of performance testing, like, say, a road course, that this GR Corolla would do a lot better because it weighs a lot less. It's all-wheel drive. It's got more high-tech suspension and a great all-wheel drive system. But a drag race is a drag race, and horsepower wins them. Now for our final test, we are doing the 60 to 0 braking test. So all of us are accelerating up to 60 miles per hour, 3 wide, and once we cross the cones at 60 miles per hour, we are all going to slam on the brakes, see which of these cars can stop the best. Ooh. Let's see what it did.
I feel like it's taking a while, Andre.
It is taking a while.
What'd you do?
So I did in the Corvette 105.7 feet.
Yeah, 105 actually isn't
No,
terrible.
it's not bad at all, and especially considering this is a 99. This is not anything close to a brand new vehicle.
No, and the brakes felt a little bit smooshy on this one, I would say. So maybe it's aged kind of like me.
Well, they were probably like that from the factory too. To be honest.
Well, let's see how the Mustang did.
Okay. Well, the damage, there's actually not much of a damage. It's 85 feet and 7 inches.
That's one of the better performers we've had, isn't it?
I think so.
Pretty good, yeah.
It's 20 feet less. I mean, it's more than the car length better.
Than
Yeah.
the Corvette. That's impressive. I mean, this is 15 years newer than that Corvette.
You would hope the brakes would be better.
You would hope the brakes, but it is 600 pounds more. Plus, you know, you added half to me.
It's also up to the tires in some ways, right?
Oh,
That's
yeah, big
true.
time.
The traction.
Yeah.
Let's get ready to 72 feet and 3 inches.
Have
Yeah.
you tested anything that performed that well in the
No.
braking
No,
test?
not that I can think of, and I think it's a combination of this car being pretty small and pretty light. You also have these Michelin Pilot Sport 4s, which are impressively grippy tires. And then of course this car is brand new, so all of its ABS, traction control, management systems allowed me to, right across the line, just absolutely stomp on the brake.
Were you in the seatbelt there?
Yeah.
For a second?
Well, just think, so it may not be fast enough to beat, you know, a muscle car like the Mustang down the quarter mile, but it is one of the fastest braking cars we've ever tested, so that's pretty impressive.
So 15.75 from a Corolla, Brendan. Are you impressed?
I am impressed. I mean, that is a lot of speed out of a 3-cylinder turbo.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. There's been other cars out there with 3-cylinder turbos, but nothing that's this quick.
Now again, this car was really not designed to be a drag racing vehicle, which is why so many other outlets have put it on the track. But we wanted to see how it would do in some different circumstances, which is why we put it up against these muscle cars. So a 15.75 from this in the quarter mile at a mile above sea level, really not bad. Then a, 15.91 in the Corvette.
On the Corvette. Let's give it credit where credit is due. You still beat a Corvette.
I know.
A hot
In a
hatch
drag
beat
race.
a Corvette in a drag race, but the Mustang, well, that one is the winner, in my opinion.
Yeah, so obviously you did what, a
14.86 in the quarter mile, getting a little over 100 miles an hour as the trap speed.
Yeah, it's one of the more impressive cars from our fleet that we've put down this drag strip, at least something that's older. And yeah, I mean, that's a really good number. At the end of the day, it's hard to beat horsepower. That's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And
thanks so much for watching. This has been Brendan
and Case.
Take care.